If you're looking to turn your trials into triumphs and build a strong personal and professional brand that gains you impact and influence, you're in the right place today. And I'm super excited that we have LaShawanda Moore joining us on the Sharvette Mitchell radio show, where she is transforming lives one person at a time. We will get right into it right after this quick intro.
Whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Sharvette Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Sharvette Mitchell.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard all across the internet, all across the web. We are so excited to have all of those that are watching with us from everywhere. Listen, Facebook, we love you guys. My personal page, my business page, my Facebook group. Hey there to all the hearts that are coming in already. Certainly Periscope. Hello. Give me some hearts as well. And YouTube, thank you so much for being there. And Twitter, you might be hanging out on Twitter. So our live broadcast areas, we thank you so much. And then certainly those of you that are going to be catching the podcast and iTunes and Stitcher and Blog Talk Radio and maybe even an Alexa device and everywhere. We are so excited that you are stopping by because, you know, the goal of this show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And we do that with phenomenal guests that we have for you. So we see people coming on in right now. Hello, Dr. Jackie. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Of course, got to give a shout out to my mom holding it down. Hey there. And my blood sister holding it down over on Periscope. We love you. Thank you so much for being here. This segment is brought to you by the 5th annual pop-up conference for female entrepreneurs, which is my signature event hosted every year. We will be live in the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, November 5th, 6th, and 7th. And I'm inviting you to attend. Jump over to heygirlhey.biz to get all the deets. We'll be social distancing and all of that great stuff. And we want to see you there. It is a conference for female entrepreneurs or those that are moving in that direction. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Gwen, for stopping by. So let me introduce my guests. As I know, all of the streaming platforms are building up on the internet. Our guest is coming up. She's hanging out in the virtual studio right now. LaShawanda Moore, the speaker, the business strategist, organizational development consultant, retired engineer for a Fortune 500 company, a direct sales leader, founder of Elevate Success LLC, and franchise owner of Launch Entertainment Park in Midlothian, Virginia. And guess what? We can add to that now, author. She's the author of an awesome new book, Recover: A Woman's Journey from Failure to Restoration. She's coming up right now. Without further ado, welcome to the stage. Hey, LaShawanda.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. Listen, getting love coming in already.
Hey.
Hey, y'all. And of course, Mike. Hey, Mike. Yes.
Hey, Mike.
And thank you so much, Carla R. Jenkins, who just reshared on Twitter. So, LaShawanda, certainly a lot of hats you have worn. Talk to us about how you started helping people recognize that they were assets to really their family, their community, and their jobs.
Interesting question. Well, it all started with my career in direct sales. I used to sell jewelry. I sold jewelry for 12 years for a company called Leah Sophia. And during my journey in Leah Sophia, first thing first, I was horrible at it when I first started doing it. I was an engineer, very conservative. I did not wear jewelry. I wore the same gold herringbone necklace and gold earrings every day, never took them off. So for me to say yes to this jewelry business, it was just simply something else to do because I didn't have anything else to do. Well, I was horrible at it. I could not get the bookings on the calendar. And I became a student of it when I went to a conference. And I saw all of these people walking across the stage, getting so many accolades and recognition for big sales goals. And I was like, you know what? I eat, sleep, and do everything else the same way.
Right.
I'm not able to be successful in this. And so I became a student of direct sales. Long story short, grew my team of over 300 women in 16, 17 states around the United States. I had about 15 to 17 managers underneath me. And I began to really get this desire to coach and help people be successful in Leah Sophia and eventually direct sales as a whole. And so it just ignited and just started this whole platform for me of helping people discover that they have everything that they need inside of them to do whatever it is that they want. And if I can make it, they can make it. That's just been my theme in life.
Wow, I love that. If I can make it, they can make it.
Yes.
And you recognize seeing somebody else walk across the stage. They aren't any smarter or any better. If they can do it, I can do it. Absolutely. Again, welcome to all those coming in. Hey, Michelle, that's saying hey. Hey, Antoinette from Delaware, that's saying hey. And so, the love coming in. So talk to us a little bit about on the being an engineer and really how your career moved with that as well.
Yes, so I graduated in 1997 with an engineering degree in civil engineering from Southern University, HBCU in the house. And I joined DuPont right out of college and had an amazing career. I rotated every 2 to 3 years in what's called a rotational program. And I had an awesome experience moving around from Texas, a couple of places in Texas, Victoria, Texas, cows at my back doorstep. There was like 2 hours from everything, right? Did my time in the small town. Then I moved to the Austin area. And then the rest of my career, most of my career was in Delaware, where I spent 14 years there taking on many different assignments. So I've had experience in sales, sourcing, marketing, Six Sigma, new product development, leadership, recruiting, like all kinds of amazing experiences, traveling the world. And then I needed some operation experience. And so I moved here to Richmond almost 6 years ago to get some operations experience. So amazing career.
Wow. And this is crazy because Antoinette Blake posted, she's hanging out in our Facebook group. She said she attended one of your coaching sessions in Delaware.
Yeah. I had an all-day event that she attended.
Wow, wonderful. HBCU, yep, HBCU. And hey, Elisa Griffin, thank you so much for popping in as well. And so talk to us about launch. So you're here in Richmond now. Launch comes about. Tell everybody what that is for those that are listening from all over and like, I don't know what a launch is.
Yeah, so launch is our 29,000 square foot family entertainment park that houses 9 attractions: trampolines, dodgeball, laser tag, jump off wall, battle pit, slam dunk basketball, obstacle course, everything, a cafe, arcades. It's just an amazing facility for families to come together. And we believe that everyone should have an equal rights opportunity to an enjoyable and sustainable life. And so my husband and I were sitting and just really trying to figure out what's the next big thing, because I got out of direct sales and just really started to focus on my career and my children. And so we were like, what's the next big thing that we want to do? And we were like, you know what? We really want to create jobs for the economy and then teach our children entrepreneurship firsthand, but choose something where they could be a part of it. And so we knew some friends in Delaware who opened up a launch franchise. And we were like, hey, what about a launch? And we went to visit the headquarters. We liked what we saw. We brought our friend with us. He loved what he saw. And the 3 of us started our journey in 2015 to open up a launch. And it took us a while because we did not know what we were doing, Sharvette. We literally learned one thing. Okay, we got to do this. All right. And then we did the next thing. Oh, we got to do this. Okay, we did the next thing. So it took us some time to find a location that could really house the vision. It took us some time to negotiate the lease and get the bank loan and all of that. And finally, December 29th, 2018, I was like, we are not leaving 2018 without opening up this park.
Okay.
We opened the doors December 29th of 2019. And it's been an amazing journey. I'll tell you, faith in action, for real, especially in this COVID environment, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
A place like launch. Yeah.
So talk a little bit about, this, which is an in-person, you come and you trampoline. Michelle is saying, do it. Hey, Sherelle. And it's all of this. And then COVID happens and they say you have to shut down.
Yeah.
Did you have any, wait a minute, God, what's going on moments?
Well, I've had a lot of those. Wait a minute, God. And I've learned through this journey to enjoy and embrace the journey. A lot of times in life, we're trying to get to a destination, right? We're trying to get to that thing. Oh, I want to be that, or I want to do that. And we miss all of the bits and pieces and the glimpses of glory all along the way that are a part of shaping us and building the depth of character necessary for that thing that we're trying to get to. But that thing that we're trying to get to is really preparation for the next thing that God has in place for us. So during this journey, we were just beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel financially. Like maybe 2 weeks before COVID hit, we had almost hit our weekly goal. And Sharvette, when COVID happened, we actually closed the doors before the governor told us to close the doors.
Wow.
We could not get the traffic from just a cost model revenue perspective. We could not get the traffic in the doors to be able to pay for the expenses, the overhead of it. And so we closed the doors March 14th. And I tell you, that was one of the most difficult things because we had to furlough our employees. We opened up with 100 employees.
Wow.
By the time COVID hit, we were at 75. We have a couple of salaried employees with full-time benefits. And remember, at the beginning, the reason we did this is because we wanted to create jobs for the economy. So I was like, God, literally, I'm like, how are we going to do this? And so when, the PPP and the EIDL loan, when those things became options, we applied, we worked diligently, we did our due diligence, right? Faith without actions is dead.
There you go.
We did what we needed to do, and we were blessed with both of those. And that's what has been sustaining us. And I'm going to tell you, even now, we're not making enough to really pay all of the bills. But because of the glimpses of glory that we've been granted and the grace and the mercy, where we don't have to pay the SBA loan for 6 months and
right.
Our landlord, amazing, all of those kinds of things have really helped us sustain. And so I see that bank account just kind of just doing one of these.
Uh-huh.
And so when y'all see on my Facebook page, I say God is a sustainer. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes, Tony Winston said glimpses of glory. And we haven't even gotten into the book yet. But I wanted to set the background that certainly you can talk about Recover. You can talk about this. Thank you for Periscope, Ms. Martin, shouting up, lifting up hands here. Thank you. And so in the midst of all of this, you put out a book. Tell us about it.
Oh, wow. Yes, Sharvette. The book, actually, I started writing the book in 2017. When I moved here to Richmond, yes, that's Recover. My uncle designed that cover, y'all. It's very special. This book is very special to me. When I moved here, all hell broke loose, right? And so the 14-year career or 12-year career I had with Leah Sophia in December 28th, 2018, was it 2018, 2017? I can't even remember now. December 2014, December 2014, Leah Sophia shut its doors. So what I knew of for 12 years of my life, like I started Leah Sophia before I was married and before I had children. So I went through mourning and depression, moving here away from my friends and family in Delaware because it became my new home, right? All of the major things, marriage, children, happened in Delaware. And so when I moved here to take on this assignment, a lot hit the fan, and I went through some really deep, dark hurt and pain in my last assignment here, and experienced some very blatant and subtle racism, microaggression, just not being accepted as the leader. All these things happened to me, and I lost it. I lost myself in the midst of all of it.
Wow.
My confidence took a beating like nobody's business. And the life I led and had in Delaware, I tell you, Antoinette, if she's still on here, she would not have recognized me here in this experience where I got so low, Sharvette, that I wanted to take my life. And I was suffering. So I was looking around at the people, my friends around me, like they would never get themselves. And then I started thinking I was the cause, that I was the reason for all of this stuff, right? And so I took a lot on and went so far down, and all of my Elevate success plans and the things that I wanted to do with my business just kind of took a back seat. I wanted to write a book, but this wasn't the book I was talking about. I wanted to write this book. So I got another one coming soon.
All right.
Right. And my husband was like, well, why don't you just write every day for 30 days? And I was like, yeah, yada, yada. But then one morning after my devotion, God said, yeah, I want you to write in your pain, because I need people to feel the pain as they read the words, and to feel you in your heart and what you're going through. And I need you to take them on a journey from feeling the pain to restoration, and to turning that pain into something that I will use for their benefit and for my glory. And so, needless to say, in 2017, I want to say it was April 2017, I literally wrote for 30 days. Now that was 2017.
Wow.
I was hurting then. I was broken, and I needed to go through some stuff and keep adding and building upon the journey. And so it wasn't until June 1st at 11/49/2020 that I was able to press the button. And the moment I pressed the button, I felt the relief and the release of restoration upon me. And God said, now you're healed. Now you can turn your mess into a message that will help other people. So when I wrote Recover, I wrote Recover to help me get through what I was going through. And I really feel like that is a tool that people need to utilize, is writing, right?
Yes.
To really help me get through, but at the same time being obedient. And I knew God told me, I'm going to use this. Yes, obedience is better than sacrifice. And listen, I was supposed to get that book out in December. And the enemy started attacking me because I'm very vulnerable in that book, Sharvette. I'm giving it, right? Bringing my dirt, right, in the book.
All the deep.
Yes. And so the devil started attacking me, and I did not get that book out in December of 2019. So when COVID happened and I'm on lockdown quarantine, God was like, you better not leave.
Oh my God.
See, that's how God has to talk to me. He might not have to talk to y'all like that.
No, he be talking to me like that too. But listen, I'm keeping Dr. Jackie's comment up here because she is a grief recovery. Dr. Jackie is a grief recovery specialist. So when you talked earlier about that grief, a lot of times people just think the passing of a person.
No.
But, all of those.
I went through significant mourning. Yes.
Wow. Listen, this is a good spot. We got to take a commercial break. I'm going to put you back in the studio, let you rest. Thank you for those that are coming in. Yep, I left you at a cliffhanger. I know. Hey, Fawn, I know you're saying, wait, I want some more. We're going to give you some more. We're going to take a commercial break. Tony Winston is saying this is authentic, definitely not a sales pitch. This is not a sales pitch at all. Sharing her heart. And so we know you guys are here and taking it all in. Althea Therapist is saying, he stayed talking to me sternly. Yes. I'm in that group too. He stayed talking to me like that too, Althea. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. And I want you to share this out as we are talking to LaShawanda Moore, LaShawandaMoore.com. If you're hanging out at Sharvette.com, we have her full bio, a link to schedule a consultation with her, a link to purchase the book, Recover. And we're gonna do more. We're gonna be back. Don't you move. Share this out, and we're gonna be right back right after this quick commercial break.
Well, it is absolutely a pleasure to stand before you today and to share about taking the leap. Even if we're not even sure how we're going to get there, I've got a vision of me actually touching the ceiling. I've got a vision of me actually reaching the goal.
We are just day one.
Like every turn that I made, God was just massively opening up doors, and I didn't even want to do this.
So after that year, it was just that push that really caused me to pivot my brand. And so I decided to just put everything that I knew, everything that I had, my personality.
God has called you as a woman to do whatever your calling is. You can do it.
I think if you price by value and you price by results, you'll get that kind of response.
If you miss this, you are going to be sorry.
Oh my God, she does this. Okay? That's becoming a local celebrity. You do that by showing up as often as you can with your thing, with your life.
All right. That's right. This segment is brought to you by my 5th annual pop-up conference for female entrepreneurs and those that want to be, happening in Richmond, Virginia, live with social distancing at the 4 Points Sheraton over near the airport, November 5th, 6th, and 7th. November 5th is for VIP only, and that's sold out. But November 6th and 7th, we are waiting and preparing for you. All right. So thank you so much again for all those that are popping in. Listen, Dr. Jackie said, yes, ma'am, I hear you. Yes, ma'am, I hear you. Thank you for your authenticity, LaShawanda. So much coming in, so much love coming in. Thank you for those that are sharing. Let's jump back in because I left you a little bit at a cliffhanger, but we're jumping back in. And I wanted to mention something I just want you to think about that's in the book. Disappointment, embarrassment, devastation. These are just a few scars from life's experiences that can send you spiraling into a pit of despair that only a higher power can heal and restore. And that's a quick quote from Restore. So let's bring our guest back up. And so I wanted to lead in with that because I want you to talk a little bit about how faith is intertwined in this book.
How faith is intertwined?
Yes.
Well, so faith is believing the unseen. And I shared with you earlier on, God said, you're going to make it through this. And I'm going to use it for my glory.
Yeah.
And that was, 2017? Well, I didn't get the release from the place until October 2018. So it was a whole year and some change, right? That I had to trust and believe what God said. But then even when I stepped away from corporate America in October of 2018, I decided to step away from my career as an engineer, retire out, and pursue entrepreneurship full time. I have been wanting to be an entrepreneur since my Leah Sophia days, full time. And the thought of stopping a career that you went to school for, and it wasn't no chump change, like,
right.
Okay. So the thought of walking away from your career to move into a full-time entrepreneurship journey wasn't an easy one, but I really felt like it was an answer to prayer, and God was releasing some shackles and releasing me from bondage of really flourishing and being all that he had called me to be. And it was this experience that I went through here in the past 6 years or so, or 5 years of the end of my first career, that really helped me see that, hey, God has so much more for me. And I needed this experience to redefine and rediscover LaShawanda, because I had my identity as an engineer for this major company.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, that's not your identity. That's not who you are. I am your provider. I'm the one who makes sure that you are able to pay the bills and that you are able to take care of those kids, etc. So my journey to be a full-time entrepreneur was a faith move in itself. First of all, going through after he told me it was going to be all right, when I'm seeing with my eyes and I'm still experiencing oppression on a day-to-day basis, and I'm still having to walk around with a smile on my face, but dying inside. Sharvette, there were times where I couldn't hardly get out of my bed, and my husband had to come around on the other side and literally pick me up and put me on my 2 feet. Once I could stand, though,
my goodness,
God gave me what I needed to have a smile on my face. And even at my book release, there was someone who attended, and he was like, LaShawanda, I was there and I never knew this stuff I'm reading in your book right now. I never knew you were going through this because you never showed us.
Never showed it.
Yes. And so the whole, getting through it, and then this whole entrepreneurial life, that was a whole nother thing. And I wasn't healed yet as a full-time entrepreneur. That's another topic. You can't be a private mess and a public success, as my coach Darnell would say.
Right.
Darnell Jervy Harmon, sorry. She'll say to me, you cannot be a private mess and a public success. And I still needed to heal and be restored. And so part of my journey is recovering, getting that out.
Wow. How can people pick up a copy?
Well, you can go to my website, LaShawandaMoore.com, or you can go to bit.ly/recoverbook. And you can get your copy of Recover. But listen, when I wrote Recover as a conversation starter, Sharvette.
Wow.
It's not meant to be, it's not a biography, and it's not meant to be read from front to back in one sitting. It's meant to be done with a group of women, because if you remember, I shared that I thought I was the only one. Like, I thought something was wrong with me and that surely nobody else around me could do this. Well, what I learned through the restoration experience is that I wasn't the only one suffering silently. That there are so many people around me that were spiraling into deep depression that was spinning them into thoughts of suicide. And this month, September, is actually National Suicide Prevention Month.
Yes.
And see, I attempted suicide in the 11th grade. And I didn't win. It wasn't my time. God, no. He had me wake up the next morning, right? Like, no, I have work for you to do. I'm like, okay, well, what people don't know about those who attempt suicide, it's almost like a recurring thought and way out when life gets really tough for you. And so me going through this deep debacle that I was going through in my last assignment, that became a thought for me really heavily. Like, I just need to escape because I'm the bad person here. I'm the cause of this thing. And I would literally be praying, God, please take me. And he was like, no. You have 4 beautiful kids. First of all, that's your first ministry, your home, your husband. And then second of all, I have work for you to do, because what you're going through, I need you to be my mouthpiece. I need you to be the marketplace minister that's going to give the real deal so that you can free up people who are suffering silently. So Recover is to create a safe place with a group of people, 2, 3 people, to hold each other accountable and to read it daily. But as you read it, don't just read from my story. Read for your story. What's your situation? What is it that you're going through? And what is God trying to tell you in your life so that you can be pruned and prepared for and the fortitude necessary to
Yes.
that next level that God has for you. And I had to go away to the mountains of Virginia by myself the week of August 16th, 2018, in order for God to take away and deliver me from suicidal thoughts. It's almost like drugs, right? You have to be delivered from drugs in order to not do it anymore. And so I had to be delivered from the thought, and he literally spoke to me. So for those who have the book, Appendix A is what God told me. I didn't change a thing, y'all. I wrote exactly what he told me. And I had a speaking engagement coming out of that time in the mountains on that Saturday. And the week I was there in the mountains, I was praying, okay, God, what do you want me to talk about on that Saturday? And he said, I want you to tell him what I told you. And I was like, what are you talking about? That was for me. Like, because I wrote down everything he said. He was like, I want you to tell him that. I was like, okay, God. I went on the day before. I said, God, what do you want me to talk about at this business luncheon, authentic ladies breakfast, whatever it is I'm going to? He says, I want you to tell him what I told you. I'm like, okay, God. So I show up that day and I'm sitting at the table and I'm like, God, what do you want me to talk about? I don't have anything prepared. Hey, Barry. I'm like, I don't have anything prepared. I don't have anything. He said, I told you to tell him what I told you. I said, well, God, how do you want me to start this? Because you started off my daughter, my dear sweet. They want me to talk about business and being
right. Like, Laura, ain't you talking about? Didn't you give me something else to say? Yeah. Ain't there something else you want me to talk about?
Girl, he said, you are a woman in business. And as a woman in business, tell him what I told you. I said, all right, fine then. So I said, God, I'm just going to stand up there and open my mouth and whatever you say. I took the phone because I typed everything in the phone. I took the phone and I literally read everything that he said. Do you know after that event, first of all, during it, the 100 women in the room were tore up. And then afterwards, people came up and was like, you were all in my business. And God said, I told you. I needed to know that it wasn't something wrong with me. And I needed confirmation that I need to be the mouthpiece to help free up people who are suffering silently and going through deep hurt and deep pain by themselves, thinking about taking themselves out of here, or in severe depression, anxiety, stress. So here I am today.
You name it. Author of Recover, A Woman's Journey from Failure to Restoration, LaShawanda Moore. Thank you. Thank you so much. And listen, listeners, I'm going to, LaShawanda doesn't even know what I'm doing because I, by accident, bought 2 books. I just put her on mute so she can't stop me. I by accident bought 2 books. This is wrapped up because I didn't even unwrap it. It comes in this nice, I'm not going to unwrap it. It's this nice black bag for Elevate Success, but there's a brand new book, brand new tote bag. I want to send this compliment of the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show to a listener. And so just type, if you want the book, one, it's just one, everybody else go buy it. But if you just want one and you have the means, go buy, everybody else go buy. But I do want to bless one viewer, one listener. Recover, just type recover in the comments. This video, we will, because we have a lot of people that watch the replay. So I will do the drawing. This is Tuesday. I will do the drawing on Thursday of this week. So if you want it, put recover, go ahead and buy a copy. And then if you win, then it's a bonus and you can give it and share it with someone. Because like she said, it's meant to be for a group of people. So great. All right, I'm gonna unmute now. So you couldn't stop me. All right, great.
That's awesome.
Yes, that's the thing. Me, recover. Yes. Yolanda Gray, what a message. You are a beautiful soul.
Yolanda. Thank you.
Yes, and then Barry saying I got my signed copy just to support, and so I'm glad he put this up because Barry, shout out to Barry of the Barry Farmer Morning Show, friend of the Private Mental Radio Show, who's a gentleman. So I know that is targeted for women. Can you talk about who all this can help?
Yes, so that's interesting. So when I first started writing the book, I was writing it for African American women who have high potential, yet for some reason they're hitting a ceiling and they are unable to move. They're stuck, right? So I initially wrote it for high potential women in leadership, African Americans. And then after that event, it's for all women. However, since the book has been published, there have been a couple of men who have read the book, and one in particular shared at my virtual book release of how it was instrumental in helping him deal with some of the things that he was going through in his life and was willing to testify about it. So
wow.
The book is for anyone who feels like feel like they're stuck in the past or stuck into some pain and some past pain, and they aren't really serving the way they need to serve. Anyone who hasn't uncovered their why or their purpose and are just in bondage and want some relief, some freedom, this book is for them. Anyone who needs to build up their confidence, in the last section of the book, I really start to talk about turning your mess into your message and owning your bold factor. And so that bold factor is actually my signature series that I use to teach people.
Yes.
Ricky Martin attended a coffee chat with LaShawanda at our employer, and I knew she was like, oh, hey.
Thank you.
I am now working again. I'm back in the in the corporate space and absolutely loving it. It was just what the doctor ordered, and I want to say she is with Capital One. And
all right.
Did you know that, Sharvette? That I
didn't. Hi, Miss Martin. Listen, this show goes all over the place, so I'm glad to have you as a listener. Spent 25 years with Capital One. Past employer, have nothing bad to say at all. And so Althea says, how can I get a personally signed copy?
Absolutely, Althea. Just go to my website, LaShawandaMoore.com or bit.ly/recoverbook. And you can get a personally signed copy.
Awesome. Thank you for your question. And those that are listening, different times, Sharvette.com. There's a direct link on the blog post for LaShawanda to get the book as well. If you're hanging out there or you're on iTunes, it should be a clickable link right there. We have gone over our time, LaShawanda. Time has flown by. What continues? The goal of the show is to motivate, excite, and influence. What continues to motivate you?
What continues to motivate me? I would say first my household, my husband and my children, and recognizing that I have the first call on my life to be a role model and example of continuing to press on. Life is not going to be a crystal stair, right? It is not always easy.
No.
How do I find the glimpses of glory in every situation? And what practical, I'm very black and white and practical, right? What practical tools do I use to make it through when times are tough? Right. And we look at 2020 and all the things that we've experienced, from Kobe Bryant to Chadwick Boseman, all of these things. Right. What are the glimpses of glory we can find in life? And so what motivates me is to get up each morning and continuing to press on so that my kids see how to press in life. And I think the second thing is that God has specifically told me what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm very crystal clear on my why and my purpose, and I line up everything through that lens. So if it is not about advancing that why, advancing that purpose, then it's probably not the right thing for me to engage in.
What great advice. Thank you so much for stopping by the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Being such a strong, I think, representative in the community and past client, web design client. So LaShawandaMoore.com is by Mitchell Productions.
Yes, it is.
Yes, past speaker at our pop-up conference.
Yeah.
So lots of love there. So thank you for stopping by, and we wish you much more continued success.
Thank you so much, Sharvette. You're amazing.
Oh, thank you. Wow, you guys, this show, I cannot orchestrate everything that happens with this show. As far as this month being suicide awareness, prevention, and all of that, I didn't plan this show specifically around that, but here we are. And so that's just the glimpses of hope, the glimpses of grace, the orchestration that God has really through this show and everything that we bring to you guys. So we thank you for listening. We thank you for watching. Sharvette.com. Literally, truly, honestly, all of our past shows are amazing. I know it's my show, but they are absolutely amazing. Thank you for those that watch this, catch this replay on the Sharvette Mitchell Productions Facebook page. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of the love and all of the comments that are still coming in. We appreciate you. Again, go to Sharvette.com. You can find out more about LaShawanda. You can connect, schedule a consultation with her, purchase her book, and then all of our other shows are there. Listen, I just got to shout, it's so much coming in. Okay, that was an awesome show. Divinely inspired. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Jackie, for being here. Thank you, Capital One, Miss Martin, for being here. Thank you so much. For my blood sister. That's my sister. That's my sister. That's my blood sister right there. I'm seeing a comment. I'm not sure. Oh, Lorraine, I have a Hispanic friend who suffers with depression. I feel your book would help her. Lorraine, I'm going to connect with you, and I will get their address, and I will buy the book for your friend. Okay, I know you're in, Lorraine, type in where you're in. You're somewhere in the Midwest. Get their address, and I will purchase the book for them. Thank you. And my mom. Hey, Mom. Thanks. Great show. All right, that's a wrap. See you guys later. I love you all. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for watching the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show and listening.
Live from Richmond, Virginia, you've been listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Catch Sharvette Mitchell every Tuesday at 6 p.m. interviewing all the stars you want to hear from. So until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. This is the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show.